Hello, welcome to Rhonda Said. I'm Rhonda. I love saying things. I hope you're doing well today. I'm doing super. Did you like that special moment? Well, anyway, welcome to the channel. It's good to see you. Today we're going to be looking at my Melt Cosmetics collection. I knew I had a lot of Melt, but I didn't know I had this much. So we're going to do a little palette tour and some swatches and some talking about what I think about these palettes. And I'm very excited to do this because, you know, I need to appreciate what I have. And I have more Melt palettes than I do any other cosmetic brand except for Jeffree Star. Jeffree and, well, I think I've got more Jeffree palettes. They're about even. I'm about even on Jeffree and Melt, and so let's just jump into it. And one of my favorite releases from last year were these two palettes from the BeetleJuice collection, and this is the recently deceased. Some of them I kept the boxes, some of them I didn't, but this packaging is everything. And even the little plastic that goes in there is a beautiful picture still from BeetleJuice. And this is what the colors look like. And they are gorgeous. I need to dig this out and do something with it. But let me just swipe a couple of colors for you. This is just so beautiful. Look at that. I mean, when Melt is good, it's very good. And this palette is undeniably fun. And the colors just are pigmented and bright and cheerful and ready for action. And the companion to this is the Waiting Room palette. And it's got the sandworms on it. And this plastic packaging is just gorgeous. And it also has a still from the movie, and it's of the lady who's cut in half. Gorgeous. And then this palette is so deep and lovely. Let me do a couple of these swatches for you. Look at that. Look at that silver. Those are just beautiful. And, you know, you've heard me just say just a minute ago that when they're good, they're really good. Now, there are some palettes that I don't have that kind of have a sketchy reputation. Like the 420 palette is not got a good reputation. The millennial pink palette, I want it. I want it even though it doesn't have a good reputation. And there are some problems sometimes. There's been some problems with mold before in the palettes, and where the shadows like puff up and flake out, but that's not happened to me. And I've got 9 Melt palettes. So let's get into this one. I got this one on a great sale. It is the Melt Cosmetics Impulsive Palette, and it is, it's got like 3 of the, they're all different levels. See, it's like low, medium, high, and then it goes the opposite side here. And this is just gorgeous. And they are well known for their greens. See that lavender, that orange. Look at that. It's just beautiful. Look at that green. These palettes are just fan-fucking-tastic, in my opinion. So, but there's little protectors here that go on so the colors don't get all mushed up together. But this I got for like 30 bucks, and it was totally worth it. Then this is also from, this is one of the more recent palettes, and it is the Blueprint palette. And even though I've got like Blue Blood and some other blue palettes, I had to have this one because it's just so beautiful. let's swipe a few colors here. Let's go right here since my hand's a little damp. But it's just gorgeous. If I said beautiful and gorgeous quite enough, it's a stunner. And it's very pigmented. And you can create like a great neutral look with a pop of blue, or you can do a total blue look. This palette is definitely a good one, even though I don't think it's the most popular palette they've done. You know, they've done so many palettes. Then next up is the Rust palette, which is, I'm not normally a big neutral gal, but this is like extra neutral. And the colors in here that I really love are this, it's called Erode, this brilliant yellow. And then, what's this one called? Redux, Redux, I don't know. And look at that coppery brown. It's just one of a kind. I'm gonna have to get a whole new wipe in a second. These colors are so pigmented. But this is also a good way to get an idea of, you know, what palette you might want if you've not jumped into the Melt boat just yet. There are lots of good things to be had, and this is the most recent one. And I was on the fence about keeping this one because a couple of colors aren't really easy to use, but it's just, I'm a sucker for these smoky colors and grungy colors. It's just so gorgeous. And I've gotten into Sweet Lucy a bunch. And then let's go into Santa Maria and Beau. Look at that green grunge. I do love some grunge. You know, I was a child of the 80s and 90s. Oh my gosh, yeah, a new wipe. This one is so saturated from all these amazing colors. But I would definitely recommend this if you are into the grungy palettes. This is something that you must have. I've made the best just 2 or 3 color looks with this palette. And it's a couple shades, like I said, are kind of hard to work with, but you know. And I wish I had the other half. This is Vita, and the other side is Mort, and it makes a beautiful sugar skull. And this is just a beautiful bright palette with a lot of primary colors. Well, there's no blue, but the oranges and greens really make this special. Ooh, I haven't gotten into this green. Let me warm it up. And let me do this orange and this red. Ooh, look at that iridescence on that green. That is beautiful. How did I never get into that before? So gorgeous. But this palette is still available, I think. If not, you can get it on Mercari. But you cannot beg, borrow, or steal to get the other half of this palette, the Mort. So it's like literally life and death. Then we have the first palette that I fell in love with Melt was the Gemini palette. And there's a theme to these palettes that I love, and it is grungy. But I fell in love with this palette because of the greens. I'm just gonna swipe greens. It's so pretty. I haven't used this palette in a while, but I totally need to get back into it. I'm cleaning my arm so much that like my skin is starting to squeak. But that's because these number 7 Radiant Result wipes are amazing. And other wipes would have failed me by now, but not those. And then my very favorite palette is She's in Parties. I just love the box so much that I had to, like some of the boxes, you know, I kept, but it is a gothy palette, and it is grungy purples, and it's all cool toned and beautiful. I still have color on my fingertips. They may be stained from all the swiping. All the swiping. All the swatches. But, look at that. It's almost like a duochrome, that shimmery kind of cool tone lavender. But very, very pretty. And that is my melt collection. I've got 9 melt palettes. Which one will be my 10th? I don't know. Maybe somebody will buy me a present and send me the Millennial Pink palette, because I don't want to risk my money on it because it's not got the best reviews. But maybe for my birthday coming up in July. Never know. July 1st. Just in case you're curious. Not really. If I really want it, I'll get it. You guys don't have to send me presents. Your presence is my presence. So I've got a lot of melt palettes, and I think if you haven't tried them, one of these color stories will work for you, and I think you should really give them a try. This is not sponsored. This is just something I love, and I've invested in so many of these palettes. And you see a lot of other collections, and I thought it's time. It's time for the world to see the melt that I love. I hope you have a great day or day of your choice. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later.